I'm Stuart Deming of XPLR.NASH. Coming to the city of Nashville can be very overwhelming. There's a lot to do and there's a lot to see. So if you're looking for some of the best attractions that you need to put on your list today, here's our top attractions video for 2023.
Belle Meade Historic Site and Winery is one of my favorite attractions found in the city of Nashville. Belle Meade is located in West Nashville and started in 1807. It became a historic site here in the 1800s. In the late 1800s, Belle Meade became one of the most historic sites for raising thoroughbred horses in the United States. In the world of horse racing, Belle Meade was the premium brand. People from around the world would travel here with their mares so that they can mate with the Belle Meade studs. In the 1950s, this became a historic site and a museum. This mansion was built in 1853. It's incredible. You get to see the 5 generations of the family line that lived on this property. A few other things that are offered here. They have the Jubilee tours, which include looking at the life of an enslaved individual and how they lived and their experiences here on the property. Now let's talk about their food and culinary offerings. Belle Meade Historic Site and Winery is first known for their winery. They're also known for their bourbon. Their bourbon is some of the best bourbon that you can find here in Middle Tennessee. Some of the tours that they offer and are really focused in on incredible culinary experiences with pairings of wine and bourbon. One thing I love about Belle Meade is how intentional they are about pairing historical events that happened here on the property and allowing that to be programming that they offer today. They've taken the family legacy of hospitality and Southern charm and truly turned it into an incredible destination that's located in West Nashville. This place also offers a ton of VIP events. Those VIP experiences include private wine tastings, private bourbon tastings, private food and wine pairings, and one of the coolest things about Belle Meade, and I absolutely love this place, is the Ice House. This is where they do all of their bourbon tasting. It's incredible. They also have a restaurant on the property that specializes in a Southern cuisine called Meat and 3. This is where you get a large chunk of meat and 3 vegetables. If you're looking for a historic attraction that has food and many other offerings, Belle Meade Historic Site and Winery is the place for you.
Nashville has a lot of fascinating history that's well connected. What do I mean by that? The home that I'm currently in was built by David McGavick in 1859, and this is the sister home to Belle Meade Historic Site. This was a working plantation at one time that was as large as 1,100 acres, and this site is currently owned by the Metropolitan Nashville government. They bought 400 acres of this site in 1965. In that 400 acres, that became Two Rivers Park. They built a golf course, a disc golf course. They finished out part of the greenway. They also have this historic mansion here, which I'll talk more about here in a second. They also built a dog park and a few public schools. This is located in the heart of Donelson. The McGavick family has a lot of interesting history here in Middle Tennessee. They are connected to a few homes found in this area. You have Carton down in Franklin, then you also have the Belle Meade Historic Site. As I said, David McGavick built this home in 1859, but this is not the oldest home on the property. The oldest home on the property was built in 1802, and that is the oldest brick building built in the city of Nashville. What Two Rivers was known for was Morgan horse breeding. Morgan horses are working horses, they're not race horses. So there's a difference between Belle Meade and Two Rivers. They raised working horses on this farm. Today you can visit Two Rivers by heading to tworiversmansion.org. This is also an incredible event space. They host many weddings here and other events throughout the year. They offer historic tours of the home and of the property. If you want to check out a historic home that's located halfway between the airport and the Gaylord Opryland Resort and Convention Center, Two Rivers is a must. In between visiting attractions found in downtown Nashville, you may be looking for a place to eat. I would recommend Rye's Righteous Chicken. They serve incredible chicken biscuits. They also have amazing pastries. They are located on Representative John Lewis Way, tucked right in between the Tennessee State Capitol and Broadway. You can see the sign right behind me. Let's go inside to learn more. One thing you can expect from Rye's is incredible quality of food. When you come here, there's a few options. You can either come to these screens and order from these screens, but if you're getting a to-go order from ryesbiscuitchicken.com, this is where you pick up your to-go orders. There's this incredible technology. You see your name here, and then you just pull your meal out and you walk away. This is one thing that you can expect here at Rye's. When you walk into Rye's, you're going to see a sign that says Best Breakfast in Nashville, ranked by its staff. I would have to agree with that sign. This is one of my favorite places in downtown. The food is very tasteful and it's amazing. So now let's unbag this incredible bag of food. This thing is a hefty bag of food, so let's unbag it real quick. This is their world famous tater tot. Look at this thing. This thing is massive. Inside of the tater tot is cheese. It's a potato. This is probably one of the best tater tots that you'll find in Nashville. Let's just dive in. The blend of the cheese with the potato and the chives, fantastic. Hands down, one of my favorite tater tots in all of Nashville. This next sandwich is getting all of the hype on social media. I'm super excited about this one. Look at this sandwich. This is a blueberry fried chicken sandwich. I think this is the sandwich I'm most excited for. This fried chicken looks amazing. I love the breading of their fried chicken here at Rye's. It's very unique flavor profiles, and it's some of the best fried chicken that you can find in Nashville. Let's just dive into this sucker. I'm trying to get a blueberry and a piece of fried chicken in one bite. I fully understand why this is getting the hype it's getting. The flavors of the blueberry with the fried chicken, fantastic blend. The biscuit with the blueberry is even better, but just add that touch of that fried chicken, amazing. This is probably my new favorite sandwich on their list. Whether you're coming for breakfast, lunch, a sweet treat, or coffee, Rye's has you covered. Another incredible attraction found in downtown Nashville is right behind me. This is the Ryman Auditorium. Opened in 1892, it was originally a church called the Union Gospel Tabernacle, and the guy who built it was a man named Thomas Ryman. Let me tell you a little story about Thomas Ryman. He was the owner and operator of over 38 shipping and gambling cruise boats that happened on the Cumberland River. He was called the King of the Cumberland River. There was a preacher that came from North Carolina that was having a tent revival here in the city of Nashville, just a few blocks away from here. His name was Sam Jones. And the sermon that he was preaching the one evening was the sins of a boat captain. And this was specifically targeted at Thomas Ryman. Thomas Ryman then went to that revival and his life was changed. He became a Christian at that revival. Him and Sam Jones became really good friends, and Thomas Ryman set out to build him this church called the Union Gospel Tabernacle. In 1906, they changed the name from the Union Gospel Tabernacle to the Ryman Auditorium. And this is the home of some of the best concerts found in the United States. On average, they do over 300 live performances a year at the Ryman Auditorium. You can take tours of the inside, learn the incredible and fascinating history of the Ryman, also see some of the incredible legends that played here like Johnny Cash, Dolly Parton, Elvis Presley, and the list goes on and on. They also have a small exhibit from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that you can find inside of the Ryman Auditorium. If you're looking for one of the most used venues in the city of Nashville and an incredible attraction that has incredibly deep music history, the Ryman Auditorium needs to be put on your list. One of the most visited attractions found in the city of Nashville is right behind me. This is the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum. If you're looking for an incredible experience to learn the history of country music and to see some of the incredible instruments and outfits that musicians wore during the history of country music, this is the museum for you. They also own and operate RCA Studio B and Hatch Show Print. You literally can spend an entire day at this museum. There's so much to offer. From an incredible banjo that has go for years on it, to some incredible vehicles including Pierce Webb's, Elvis Presley's, and Smokey and the Bandits. That's the museum side of things. Now let's talk about the Hall of Fame, because it's called the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum. Over here to my right is their incredible rotunda, and this is where they have their members of the Country Music Hall of Fame. The coolest highlight of the rotunda is if you stand in the middle of the room, there's this giant pointy thing that represents a radio tower. If you stand there, you can actually hear your echo throughout the entire room. If you have not experienced this, you need to really try it. RCA Studio B is owned and operated by the Country Music Hall of Fame. RCA Studio B is one of the most historic studios found in the world. RCA Studio B was Elvis Presley's favorite studio to record in. He recorded about a fourth of his music here at RCA Studio B. Other significant artists that recorded here at RCA Studio B include Charlie Pride, Willie Nelson, Dolly Parton, and so many more. Inside of RCA Studio B, you will learn the fascinating historical stories of some of these musicians and how they created their music. You'll also learn a little bit about the life of Elvis Presley and his impact here at RCA Studio B. In between the founding in 1957 and the closing in the 1970s, the studio recorded over 35,000 songs, and over 1,000 of them became hit songs. Personally, this is one of my favorite attractions found in Nashville. And the reason for that is the incredible history that it covers in the genre of music. Also, they talk about the Nashville sound. But if you want to learn about the Nashville sound, you need to take a tour at RCA Studio B. Some of those attractions that we talked about are very unique. Two Rivers Mansion, Belle Meade Historic Site, the Country Music Hall of Fame, and RCA Studio B. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. Also follow us on Instagram, XPLR.NASH. And if you want to take a tour in person of Nashville, Tennessee, or of Middle Tennessee, head over to exploretours.com to book your ticket today.